Mac, it's the final day of groups. Let's fucking get it.
LFG, and I'm not looking for group. Let's see what happens here on Mirage. Okay. FaZe opting to start on that CT side, as kind of expected, but GL going all in towards A, 2 at main, 3 in PAL, ready to pop, and only one defender here to stop it.
Yeah. Just keeping his eyes focused. Now that utility's starting to burn out. Molotov under, Hell. Tap away from Brocky, but looks like Rain's going to be the first to swing. Is he going to be able to drop Slen? No, they drop back to Firebox, but it's really awkward. Rez is going to be able to force straight in. Now Carrigan trying to keep the line, holding on as long as possible. Frozen will drop Torsen in the process, and now all of them heading through CT now up from Texter. Brocky and Elige, they will be able to get it back. Now the 3 versus 2. Rez, though, still alive, still kicking. ZTR to hold him. A little bit of support from Firebox, but now they have to try and swing. This is going to be so tough. They've got the kit in the hands of Brokey. They've got a little bit of extra time, Mac, but they have to get moving now, and with Rez falling away to jungle, there's a chance he's going to have to wrap around here, Mac. I don't know if there's time.
This is a choice.
I don't know if there's time. He's holding the stick, and it should be okay. He's got it, Rez. He's found the time, and I don't think there's enough here for Elige to try and find the round. Rez starts off hot with the 4K for GamerLegion.
Lordy, we showed him in that head-to-head as the highlight player for a reason, and that's exactly why. Coming in clutch, the shot he had to hit, he hit it and won the pistol to put him in a great position on their map pick of Mirage. The other stat that I did want to touch on too with Rez is, say if FlyQuest get knocked out over on the mainstream, right? Rez will be the highest player, the best player statistically, other than anyone on Vitality here so far at IEM Melbourne. He has been playing phenomenally. Thermometerly. I'll get it eventually. We'll give it another crack in a little bit.
You'll find Nemo one day,
I think I need more caffeine and we'll probably hit it perfectly.
Yeah, for sure.
That being said, though, Torsen going to be the money man. Looking to make some cold hard cash up against the unarmored and barely invested FaZe clan players. And they're going to be grouped up over towards that B site. But where are GL heading? Full mid control. Happy to play it slow. Elige, the point man with the dig over towards short. And GL just throwing all that nice progressive utility, looking for any information.
I like that they're playing it nice and passive, giving full respect to FaZe here. Again, Titan opponents, whilst their form may be fluctuating, they are certainly a team that demands respect. But Lee's just sitting from short, going to be able to peek around towards connector now as that Molotov does start to fade. But of course, the smokes are up, and it should just be a nice free site for the taking. Do you just try and find some exits here, do some damage to that economy? I would say absolutely so. But only with a couple of Deagles and the 5-7 in the hands of Frozen.
Let's see what kind of confidence builders they can find here. Brokey, of course, with another Deagle of his own.
Oh, a shot onto Torsen.
Nice little head crack up. Not quite successful on dealing with Rez just yet. Rain, hungry, hunting him down. Oh, and jiggling around. It will be Rez to take Rain out of the equation. And 4 rifles should survive. We have a bit of a situation over towards T-spawn. Who dies? Who falls? Anyone? No one.
Chilling. Maximum chilling. But yeah, pretty slow start here. On towards that second round. Obviously, action from Rez in the opener. But it will be a quick little tech pause. Find out as to why that is shortly. Headset off, as always. We know what that means. Just a little bit of an audio check.
Yeah.
Looks like the earphones are being looked at. The in-ears specifically. How you feeling today, Mac? Obviously, we've got the big afternoon to determine some victors and some exits.
I'm feeling fantastic, mate. I am chilling. Got to the gym, got pumped, started watching the games, and have been enjoying everything, including the FlyQuest Na'Vi game, which is still going on over towards the A stream. If you want the score, give me 10 seconds. Guys, this is a spoiler alert, okay? We are doing an official spoiler alert. Mute for the next 20 seconds, and you won't get a spoiler. Okay, now that we've got rid of those noobs, or preferential people. The score is currently 6-12 and Na'Vi are about to win. It's kind of sad as an Australian, but it's good to see. I feel like they are going to be deserving of another attempt at a stage game. They haven't finished the job yet. Of course, they've still got to get past Team Liquid if they win that round, which they haven't. But we are live, Mitch. Let's get it.
We are indeed. Look, the fact that Mirage went the way of FlyQuest already crazy, but Elige, he's trying to find something on towards the ramp, and he doesn't quite hard clear. And it's going to be Elige and Rain both going down to the Galil of ZTR. That is a pretty abysmal start here. Now Brokey looking for the cross. Doesn't spot anything though. Smoke will clear him out. Torsen finds Carrigan and Mac. You know what that's going to be? Probably an immediate save. Frozen will be able to find one. Spots another towards the top of mid. That's going to be Rez, but he is 6-0 and he is absolutely packing the heat. So I think that's going to be a round that just automatically goes the way of GamerLegion. Brokey, not really a hell of a lot that he can do in this position here. Just hoping for some exits, but he's going to get exited out of the server. And Torsen, yeah, wow, what a big round from him as well on the entry. ZTR finding those two, and then just continuing forward. Good stuff, GamerLegion looking hot.
Very red hot start. And FaZe just not quite ready for the Thunder. Nice little off positions from GL. Catching FaZe lacking. And they're going to be going back to pistol armor by a couple of bits of utility to back it up. And let's see if they have to pack it up in round 4. And GL, they're looking to keep it clean so far. Elige, nice reposition over towards the cinder blocks. And finally gets a bit of info. Playing quite safe, all things considered, yeah.
Yeah, GamerLegion, just as a general rule for me, have been very, very impressive. Like, good signs of what can happen. What is there for the potential future of this roster? So, Prod down towards mid. Carrigan yet to spot anything. It's going to just send up a short smoke. Try to block off the ZTR here, but I think he's actually going to be pretty happy to just walk straight through here. Will Carrigan be able to actually find it? I don't know. He should be in for a rude awakening back turn, but it's a great opening shot. If he gets 2 here, that could be massive, but no. Torsen will find him. Elige still here, Mac. Okay. Might have slowed down the offense. He does get taken down by ZTR, but it's still a 3 versus 3. Only the pistols. How quickly can they get through market here? Now, bomb plan to default.
GL in solid positions and will be afforded the chance to get those reloads off. Info on at least one of the FaZe members in market. But FaZe thinking, look, we got 2 sets of Kev. And there may be a couple of rifles we could grab over towards Apps if we really go for the big rotation. But I don't think they're going to be going that way. Frozen, low. Already creating as much space as possible. Brokey realizing, hey, I got no Kev to save, so... Exits damage is exactly what he's looking for, but he'll fall on the late spray from Resi Boy.
He goes down for the first time. But it's to the bomb. Rez's streak will be slowed. But now it's kind of the fundamental round here, Mac. As we will finally see a gun-on-gun actual set of action. We did have obviously something in round 3, but I feel like that wander down yonder into a main didn't really do a hell of a lot for FaZe. So approach should be a little bit different now. Orp up for Slend. Same for Brokey.
Okay, making the fast approach towards ladder. ZTR has heard that drop. It's just trying to figure out that no one's gone towards underpass. Nice little clearance. Con smoke, couple of seconds left on that, but Elige will throw his own to keep some pressure towards Catwalk. He's looking to potentially go through this on a timing. As the players walking out ramp are just drawing attention away, and that's worked well. But the activation of the flank needs to go right now. Smoke starting to fade, top con smoke there, and it is just going to be an awkward battle, all things considered. Elige comes out on top somehow. Torsen unable to get into the mix, and just like that, Brokey will snag one from short. GamerLegion looking like they will lose the first gun round that FaZe has brought to the party.
Yeah, interesting. Not really setting themselves up in any positions to trade there, GamerLegion, just getting taken down in the 1-by-1 duels. Brokey opening up very, very nicely with that AWP, but Elige, great round from him too. And really for Slend, it's just timer ticking to this 1v5. Surely wants to go down, but again, what sort of worth is that AWP? They've still got money in the back pocket. Torsen will be able to drop him one over. So I think he's just going to try to do a little bit of damage, obviously, appointing the fact that FaZe don't really have a hell of a lot behind them. So 5 Alive for them would really sort of start to set up a recovery mission. And you want to be the bearer of the news, Mac?
No news yet.
No news?
No.
Okay.
We don't talk about it.
Okay.
Actually, there is some bad news we could bear. And that's that Slender's dying after time. Boom. Nice. It's going to be a little slap to the economy.
That's a pretty happy round from FaZe, to be quite honest. You know, very lackluster, I suppose.
Okay,
from
that's how that went.
Yeah. Not any opportunity to respond at all for GamerLegion. Slen just completely stunned out there.
And off the back of that one round, we are going to see GL just let Ash have a yap, have a chat. Just try and fix any little mistakes that he's seeing before they become big problems. They want to be the only big problem in the server for FaZe. And FaZe, on the other hand, how are they doing so far? Carrigan, funnily enough, has been getting towards the top of the scoreboard in a lot of their games here in Melbourne. And it has just been needed. But it's been, you know, leading by example. If the firepower ain't firing, then someone's got to pick up the slack, and the leader's a good person to do it sometimes.
Carrigan always does seem to have those series, right? You know, he'll absolutely bottom out in some of the biggest games of all time, and the team will still win. And other times he'll show up and frag up a storm. You never know what you're going to get. But there's a reason why he is still at the top of the field as one of the eldest in the series and the scene just in general.
What's the call here? Molly unders makes things a little awkward for GL to find the pick, but they'll do it anyway. Elige hitting the ground. And, oh, PR with the dig. Flick across, won't find Rain. But inflicts at least a bit of pain and may give them a fighting chance in the round. And it's all up to Torsen to buy this, buy the fake rather. The flash has done it, and the rotation did momentarily go off the B site for FaZe. But let's see where they go from here, Brokey. Oh, it's looking a little
could be
awkward
good. Not quite. Just narrowly misses Carrigan. Peaks at the least opportune time, and with Torsen taking down Rain. Great pick off on the lurk. Brokey, last man standing, does have HP to work with, but of course it's just about trying to save that AWP for as long as possible. Rough position to be in. You know, again, that thing is where, you know, FaZe get a relatively clean round. GamerLegion calls the pause. Ash gives them some kind words. And then all of a sudden, you know, we see a bit of a white wall. So PR the only one to go down in this round, but not without a frag. So great response here from GamerLegion. 5 on the trot, Mac. Looking very, very good here in the opening of Mirage. Then that pick, of course, Nuke round the corner.
Oh, Brokey's going to get found. He's going to be seen. Hits him with that no scopey. No health to survive there. It is Mirage. And that bomb radius is deceiving here. But GL incredibly happy with that. What was that, 3 alive at the end? Unless someone else fell to the bomb too. But yeah, solid performance, lovely shots. Mixed by the forced bag and forcing FaZe's economy to go back towards the bin, especially with no weapons getting saved. And now FaZe are going to find themselves in a bit of a difficult situation. So let's think back to the veto quickly. So I thought that we may have seen GamerLegion go towards, you know, a bit of a different affair. I wrote it down earlier. Let me just double check what it was. We've been yapping in the chat, so I lost it.
I love analyst Mac.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be Inferno. But, you know, FaZe maybe were expecting that as well. And with the minimal amount of time you have to prep, that's when, in these situations, it comes down to... Well, you know how teams say, yo, we just played our own game, right?
Yeah.
This is one of those situations where you kind of have to throw your book at the wall, right? And there ain't no chances to really get a counter strat in unless you've got someone working overtime. And like Ash may have already done that. You know, last night they would have theorized, okay, we might have to play FaZe later in the day if things go wrong. But hold that thought, because Brokey is turning it on. 2 big picks already. ZTR a little cautious now, knowing he has the package on his belt. Big shot from Carrigan with the Augur of all things, changing it up, rolling back the years. Doing the 2v5. I don't think GamerLegion win these. Brokey can't get the final blow.
At least it's something. Maybe a chance back into this round now. PR is the man with the HP. ZTR not really with a lot, but they've got the utility to try and slit the net. However, Rain will join it now from CT, waltzing his way up. They do make their way out towards Tetris, but PR just has to slowly creep. They do have time to work with, 50 seconds. Elige, though, fully healthy as well. That Molotov not going to force Rain out of contention as he just waits patiently. I like this boost, but I don't think it was Silent Mac. Elige is well and truly aware, and Rain will close the door on the round here. Second for FaZe, 4 alive, they as well. So we're back in action in towards this next round. FaZe still a chance in. Not going to let the half get too far away from it.
Good to see we have the finer form of Brokey joining us in the server. Even though that's only 2 for FaZe, we need to see more. There has been a lot of people questioning his performance lately. It has been inconsistent. But he's also been made a fool of, if you remember that bomb clip that's been going around the social medias.
Yes, I do.
That was an interesting one yesterday. I just don't know how, I think it was Techno. I don't know how he threw it. Actually, no, it was Senzu.
Yeah, it went further than I would have thought.
Threw it that far. Like, I wish my teammates, when we say, hey, throw the bomb across long, had arms like that. That was crazy.
Strong. Very, very. But Carrigan's going to have to be exactly that. Got a firm eye on the line with the AUG. Watching to see if anyone will load into the play. Flash over the top to give a peek up towards mid. They don't spot anything. No, Rez actually getting the catch onto Elige here. Carrigan, though, will march them down. Nicely done. You almost would have thought it would have been an eco, but a couple of weapons have gone down firmly there. Carrigan does get taken very low, down to 3 HP, but he still will keep on kicking. PR also just negative health across the side for GamerLegion. Only ZTR with health, and he's only got the P250 here as well. Rain will make quick work of him. Should be mincemeat out of connector now here as well. PR left alone. Unfortunately, with only a Galil, 2 flashes, does have the bomb in tow, but I think this is going to be another simple round for FaZe. Great start there from Carrigan, and despite the opportunity missed inside mid, taking Rez, good response.
Heard a lot of good things about PR, but this is not going to be one of them. A little too much weight on the bar. Have to shift that off and move on to a different set into the next. But it's good to see FaZe waking up before it got too late. GL with a solid start. And Carrigan definitely missing a lot of bullets there, but the spray was good initially. Covering fire. Good enough to slow things down.
Real big opportunity for FaZe now to kind of just establish himself in this half, isn't it?
Yeah. Look at this mid control. Not going down. Against the Glocks. Seem to be reading the financial situation well. And GL have been one of these teams as well where we've seen them sort of just happily go for some slow approaches on the Glock rounds. Just have a chat about what they're going to do in the next before actually activating.
Had the scout early on. A little bit of a look towards mid. Back into spawn. Quick fire sail. And now they are rotating their way back around towards B, it would seem. Bomb still in hand. ZTR taking that one up. No utility to work with either, so wherever they end up, likely going to be a bit of a meat grinder. Mid-split on the cards. It's Brokey just getting that one Molotov down. Happy to rotate now back over towards B. They could end A, I suppose, the way they are poising themselves, but again, it's always going to be a bit of a challenge here without anything on your back.
Yeah, bit of chip damage. Little burst. PR got a rifle in hand now, and this could be an awkward matter of affairs if they can't stop this cross, but Frozen. He's got it all under control. Never worried.
And these players you can rely on. Icy, Frozen. Seems to be a bit of a common trend down here. But nah, good response there, PR. Definitely making a little bit spicy, getting second kill with NM4 recovered. But, you know, typically these kind of rounds, the percentage of a Glock no armor train succeeding, very, very limited. Usually resulting out of just pure chaos if they ever do come to fruition. But it's a quick made out play. Looks like Brokey is going to be taking the window control, but falling off from the smoke once more. Rez looking to push up Connector, not spotting out Rain. Didn't clear his corners. Yeah, very, very rough there. Now Brokey watching towards Palace. I think GamerLegion trying to get in towards this very, very quickly. Mac Torson ready to jump over the stairs line. It has kept them interested in towards mid. They've kind of frozen just for a second here, GamerLegion.
Yeah, they're hoping FaZe do some aggressive FaZe maneuvers, but for the moment, FaZe happy just to play shoulder to shoulder. Legion Rain looking to trade from Con. And that smoke in jungle fading shortly. Brokey should be able to activate, and the molly goes down too early. Oh, Torson finds one before falling, but with the bomb down and PR low, this one's all over. 5-5, and FaZe hunting for the lead, leading towards the half.
Fantastic round from Rain there as well. You know, this time Torson was ready for a Legion side connector to peek over the box, but Rain just immediately swings back in for the trade. So happy, happy days for FaZe. Tied up scoreline 5-5, Mac. It was, again, a little bit lackluster from the very get-go with GamerLegion running out the gates quick, but FaZe have responded nicely. And, you know, just purely lining up these teams on experience and consistency inside the server, you know, you'd sort of put FaZe up there, but just the wow factor of GamerLegion has to be overwhelmed first.
And probably trophies and general
nothing else, mate.
No,
There's
a lot of things that they could look at.
Don't be ridiculous.
But yeah, we got that right side smokes. And GL going back to what kind of worked for them on the pistol. Just a faster approach, looking to fight for this CT control, which can definitely win you rounds, but it's not looking good initially. Brokey able to find two quick ones with the AWP flash through for more, but now he's going to be solo. Elige with that flash. ZTR seems to be aware of his position, and the timing could be a huge itch for them. But Elige knows. Yeah, he's threaded the needle. A minute on the clock. Bomb down towards default. ZTR, it's going to take a whole bunch of cooking.
Yeah.
But it doesn't even get started.
Every single player that you need to sort of show up is here already for FaZe. Consistency across the board from what we can see already. Brokey hitting some good shots. Frozen sharp. Elige aware. It's going to be tough for GamerLegion to respond. 1 round left in the half. Pause to come through. Again, just time for a conversation. They got to have enough money. Utility might be short just on Slend from what it does appear. Same with ZTR, but definitely enough to convert a 6th if they are playing their cards right. But 7 definitely seem on the trend here for FaZe.
A 6th on the T side would taste ever so sweet here for GL. But let's see what FaZe are going to be able to bring to the party other than the double AWP. Carrigan even picking one up. That is something you don't see every day. But maybe
why not?
If he does activate first here, because Brokey's currently in a very rough position, jumping, hoping that he can dodge those bullets and needs a helping hand to get out of the Nuke at underpass. He's staying. He hung around too long. He's dealt with. Rez spams him through after the 3rd magazine is emptied. And now with the man advantage, it's looking pretty good for GL to just pop on Carrigan.
He is deep, isn't he? Not exactly a recoverable position. And we do see the rotation starting to be pulled over from Frozen as well. Carrigan just keeping that trained eye. How long are they going to hold this one? When will they swing? When will they move? That's going to be the question. Now the smokes start to pop up towards mid. Carrigan actually pulling away at the most opportune time. It's going to work out for him. He's gone a slightly deeper line, but he's back in there. Just wants to get that smoke up short. There it is. Narrowly misses the shot. Now he has to get moving, Mac. Back towards the side. Does get tagged up, but it's ZTR to hold the cross. Gets it done. Frozen in an awkward line here. Elige does pick up Rez in the process, but now as they move towards market, PR gets another, and this should be an impossible round for FaZe. Rain left alone in a 1 versus 4 map. I do not think this one is going to be happening here. Slend already in market. They do rain down Fury on towards the big man himself in the markets, and that is enough. It is going to be GamerLegion recovering nicely with a 6 tied scoreline, but obviously it's going to be a big test on towards that CT side into the next half.
GL, incredibly happy with how the half ended for them. Carrigan, maybe not so much. I thought Unk still had it for a moment after missing that shot and making it out onto side. He had some smooth moves there, but unfortunately wasn't able to hold it down, and short was an issue. But look, don't have to worry about that. No, it's time for them to flip it to the T side and be on the offensive themselves. Ooh, look at this move. Slend sneaking his way to sandwich. And with Torsen taking point, this could be a nice little trap setup for the right side smokes and the pop out of Pal.
Really could. Forced off the line. Great set of flashes to start to make a little bit of a move, but that's a good shot there from Torsen. Slend also looking straight onto Brokey. Will he be able to pick up 3? Oh, beautiful stuff there from Slend. Straight hands off the mouse and keyboard. He is up and about. What an opening pistol here for GamerLegion.
That was huge. That was nasty. And that was, as GL said, coming back from the break. Nice! Let's watch it again, huh? 2, 3. Oof, that third one was insanely sharp.
Very quick to it.
My lord. I saw the trap setup and I was like, this will be good. I didn't think it would be that good. That was just nasty shooting. But GL taking both pistols now, and if they can find some momentum here nice and early on the CT side, then FaZe could be in trouble.
Another one of those slow ones, eh? Glock Train packing it in towards unders for now. Just holding to see if any aggression will come through from GamerLegion, but typically just hold on, wait for them to come to us. We're in no rush. Got the whole day. Got the whole evening. But this evening does lead to a qualification. Certainly an important one to determine who's going to get into that arena. Of course, as we talk about A-Stream, we won't give any spoilers, but as to what the current game is going on, it's Maus versus the Mongols. So that's just a nice little sort of run for them to see who's going to be making it in towards the semi-finals. As we know, top 6 teams of this event will go in. The latter qualifications do fare with the quarterfinals rather, on the Friday. Then into the semis on the Saturday. And then, of course, the Cashers and the grand final on the Sunday. Hope to see you all there in Rod Laver Arena all 3 days. Cheering on, doing your blessed. It's going to be a cracker.
Speaking of crackers, that was the perfect anti-eco. GL not losing a single individual. And will afford themselves a nice little bonus with the MP9s, 2 of which still there. Not really too much heavy utility invested for GL. Most things checked. But, ooh, okay. An aggressive maneuver. Alige seems to be aware and ready that this is something GL throw, but couldn't find the second man. Good damage. And now we'll see if FaZe are able to adapt off the back of that info.
Really slowing it down now. Frozen, hoping that they will have Slend come straight into his crosshair. But for now, it's just PR falling away. Playing a little bit of that rotation as Carrigan goes fishing down towards the side of B. But will he be able to come up stumps, or will there be something for him? We'll have to find out. Bomb back towards middle, though. PR, or if he can spot something here, it could be pretty large and in charge for him. But I think they're going to start to march their way out and contest. He's straight off the line.
I thought he got spotted for a moment, but it will just be the B-split utility thrown. FaZe going 3-1 with the single player coming up short on the split. And ZTR just a HE to try and get some damage, but an MP9 at this position is... well, has the potential to be successful if anyone runs his direction, but still yet to be seen. PR just trying to draw attention away from his van member, and the info won't get relayed in time. It's the bullets from the AKs that do the talking.
A little chatterbox. Yeah, for Slend and Torsen. Not really a hell of a lot they can do here. We'll just have to consider the save, try to play those exits, strangle down. They know the economic situation for FaZe ain't going to be looking too pretty. Down all the way to bare bones of that financial situation. So they should be able to exit. But again, just depends on where they go. Looking to clear up short will be Carrigan. Frozen and Brokey likely to join the party as well. So the captain has called the right decision here to get them all out of dodge nice and safely. That's a good response here from FaZe. Certainly keeping this one close and interesting, exactly where it needed to be, Mac. We couldn't have this series go any one side. Has to be straight down the middle, nice and close. I want to see 3.
Nice little reaction there from FaZe. But as mentioned before, GL, they were okay to lose that round. Clean from the previous, but this is the one that matters. Round 16. Put a pin in it and remember it. 1-4 split. And it looks like FaZe are going to go more aggressive early on towards the A side of things. GL, more important for them with nothing left in the back pocket. And it's going to be a flash forward. No one here at mid, but info has been gained. And PR now realizing, hey, no one's here. They got to be hitting something.
No further information in towards apartments, though. So where do they gamble this, Mac? They pulled off short now. Surely sending one into apps to try and gather that a little bit of additional information, but surely the barrage of smokes out A now might give them some sort of an inkling. Now walking out main, it's going to be Torsen getting the opening, tries to hold down that spray. Will he be taken? Yes, Carrigan gets the response, but look at Rez hiding in the smoke, but he's not going to strike a leash. Will take him down, and Brokey to find one through Ticket as well. No movies for you, my friend. PR, ZTR, last left standing, and well, save number 2. The Battle of Counter-Strike will deliver again. But it's FaZe Clan tying up the scoreline here, Mac, 8-8.
Unless cheats get enabled and PR, ZTR both no-clip across and defuse the bomb from underneath the map. Imagine. It could happen.
Just like this.
But fortunately,
exactly.
We have competent admins that don't leave cheats on by accident. So that would never happen here. And FaZe is going to be happy as Larry with 4 alive at the end of that one. All tied up. And look, the best thing that happened in the round there for GL is that they managed to get away with 2 guns. Round loss bonus. Not quite the best for them. So we probably won't see a reinvestment around it. Maybe just a purchase down to even things up. Torsen hedges his bets with some Kev and tossing across some 5.7s. Picks up that smoke. But what can you cook with this recipe?
Yeah, if they had a little bit more, you might have thought it might be a little tiny bit extra of the convincing nature. But no Kevlar on 2. Certainly does make it a little bit more tricky. Not an opportunity to pick up some of those dropped weapons if they are available. So PR and ZTR just need to be relied upon to try find some sort of an opening in this round. But for FaZe, they're happy with their investment into mid, leaving Rain at the top to just sit and play observer. Shout out Swanky one time. Rotating all the way back around now towards A. Side is open, just with PR to find the spot.
FaZe really patient in their approaches. Just wanting to find some kind of information. Rain incredibly solo, but will flash his way to safety. GL not pouncing on the opportunity to potentially find that AK. Worried that maybe there was more members lurking in the corners, lurking in the shadows. A-site going to be good for FaZe to get this one planted, although, yeah, you say that, and PR is going to be able to find Rain towards mid, over towards CT with the flash. The timing of the swing couldn't have been worse there for Elise. Takes one anyway, and at close range, Brokey needs to get the job done. Certainly runs away with it. 3 quick ones. Nice little anti-ecos, but steadies the ship that could have quickly gone a bit wavy.
Brokey certainly not AFK in this map. Mac Daddy-O, he is looking good, nice and sharp. It got a little bit dicey there. Lige finding the one in towards CT. It was a really good flash, but Brokey just lines them up, and Carrigan to close onto PR. So the second those 2 rifles get dropped, there is less pressure. And hey, oh man, whoa, Jesus, I've never seen the man so up and about. It was just full of emotion. This is what happens when you contain it for so long, right? It releases in waves.
There's a lot in the tank, a lot to give. And if there's anything that, you know, I can give to this round, it's that how the hell did Carrigan get up short so quickly? Rez saying sorry for not quite making his way through that smoke in time. But yeah, Rain going to be able to find him, ZTR as well. Not aware that Elise was all the way out there looking over the top of Van. And this smoke just making things painful for GL to deal with what is coming around the corner here. There's going to be a few more FaZe members. In the meanwhile, Rain has also lurked his way to market. Angles didn't look good. But the Pinocchio, the nose peeking around the corner, just drawing attention away, and it allows Slend to activate for 3 probably really good kills. T2.
And I love this. The just immediate hands off the keyboard, roll back of the chair. Give me a high five, boys. Dap me up. Another big round from Slend with the 3K. As he threads the needle nicely. Rain did a good job of keeping Rez interested. But yeah, this was very, very quick. The awareness on Rain, knowing that he made his way through the mid window. And yeah, Carrigan just hands on the head, but he'll pump the boys back up and keep them entertained. 9-9 on the scoreline. It's a good game so far of Mirage. Very much a game of tug of war. The proverbial battle here. But that's going to be PR. This time, Carrigan not allowed to find anything, Mac. They've learned their lesson.
Let's see if they can write a few of their own, though. Molly forcing Torsen out of con. Smoke to answer for GL. And FaZe allowing Rain to lurk it up at mid again. With the other three just joining the pack. Brokey lining up the market window smoke. Rain drawing attention away with Noise at mid instead. And it looks like it's going to be a one-pronged approach. Only ZTR here with an A1S to try and hold, but he will be swiftly joined by Rez, who's all on the rotation. Drop sounds already communicated, and ZTR won't be able to hold on for long enough, but Rez arrives in time to trade. And with the numbers, it looked good. Elige, though, hitting heads left, right, and center. But the bomb now down, I believe, on the balcony, jumped up, picked up. Elige chunked down, and barely survives on 1 HP to get that planted.
Yeah, somehow making that work, doesn't he, Elige? Convincing position. But now as it settles onto this 3-on-3, Torsen playing a watch. It's just going to be eyes onto both Frozen and Rain, the healthier members. One at bench, one at the apartments, charging rent up there will be Rain. And now Rez, as he looks to clear out Africa, he does move out. But again, it is just going to be how long can Elige stay alive? Can he get any damage done? Information gathered, but he's traded, taken. Frozen now to try and hold the line. Rain will find Torsen in the process. It's all left onto Slen. They will peek. They will give it to him. But Mac, they're out of time. Well and truly, no chances for GamerLegion. Slen will have to just go packing, hopefully enough money in towards the next. They'll be able to fashion something. But it is FaZe taking the lead back. And man, I tell you what, if GamerLegion lose this next one, it could be all over Red Rover.
Bro, I thought that was Frozen with the spray transfer on those two. But it was Rain snatching the short player away. Could have been a nice little highlight. But alas, it's a round. And that's a pretty good highlight. Especially if you can convert Mirage and give yourself the confidence that you only need one more map to secure a game in the playoffs in front of the best damn crowd in esports.
There's a reason they keep coming back to Australia, Mac. We'll keep on reminding him every single time, won't we?
Slend has been so solid with the AWP so far, and he's the only one bringing this in from the previous. So they really have to allow him to be that tip of the spear, and he is trying. He is hoping that he's sharp enough to hit this. Oh, feet spotted. But I don't know if the shadow has gone back the other way. There is so many members here just tossing utility around, and I don't think FaZe are aware of the close contact. Although Torsen left solo, doesn't get hard cleared. What's going on? It's a battle of timing. And this time it goes GamerLegion's favor. Slend, the hook, will bait a couple of big fish, but won't be able to snatch him away. And there's still more numbers here. PR, tucked down to the balcony. Double shot from Dark, but goes for the switch, and the man has lost it. Too greedy to try to get the Galil in hand.
Oh, the setting's on, Mac. He's taken the Galil immediately out. The Deagle might have been able to do the job, but oh man, I'm feeling it for Slen right there. You know, Torsen finding the opening pick, not hard cleared by Rain. And in the end, it's going to give them just enough time. Oh, there it is. Yeah, picking up that weapon. Might have switched to it himself, who knows, but it was so quick and it's over in that moment. They are going to have another buy into this, of course. 4,400 in the pack pocket for ZTR to try and make a decision on how they want to try and get back into this, because yeah, money's still not fantastic for FaZe either, is it? It's been too damn close these rounds. There's certainly a huge opportunity there, but Slen just had so many angles to watch. Picks the wrong one, only gets one before he is traded. And now they are looking down the barrel of potential fight for overtime if they're unsuccessful here. FaZe don't look super confident though in themselves despite the lead. Just going to get a little pep talk and see if they can continue this momentum.
Targeting mid initially. Molly missing the mark. Maybe intentional just to make sure that no one could face with the two-man push from unders. Won't read too into it. But we are going to see FaZe try and plop a Liege into window very early on. And there is a gaping hole at jungle, which he's found. Rez, does he turn around at the right time? He will. Beats a Liege to the punch on the Beyblade game. Gets knocked out of the little battle arena. And now with the man advantage, GamerLegion are in the best position to find themselves a 10th here. With Slend, he somehow whiffed that, somehow missed it. But the trade game is good. ZTR out on an island, and he will be crunched upon in a moment. The nade, good enough to do it, but Rez arrives in time. And this is looking good for GamerLegion. But FaZe, what can they do here? Oh, Frozen gives us the answer straight away.
On for the ace here. He wants to let it rip, Mac, proverbially. Frozen with the 3. Rez now getting that nade in. GamerLegion, they of course want to try and go for this, but they are already starting to run out of time. No kits in hand. Can't remember if one was dropped down earlier. Torsen now getting into that position. If he can spot Brokey here towards the bench, as he does sit in jail now. Spotted out. It's going to have to be on Frozen. Needs the ace to clutch this one out in the 1v2. He's managed to slip the net on the smoke, but how much time will he have? It's enough, but they get onto this defuse. It will need to be the full stick, and I think Frozen has just done it himself. Can he pick up the ace in the process as well? It'll be 12 for FaZe. It absolutely will. Never count the man out. He's got the job done for FaZe. Beautiful stuff from Frozen.
Bro, I thought I heard him burn. It's okay, bro.
Nice little bit of insight and a stellar ace. The round already confirmed, but it's just a nice cherry on top, isn't it? Gets that confidence going, pads the stats, and so far Frozen having a great game.
We love you, Forsen.
GL looking to put high priority on mid, but FaZe are not in the vicinity at all. It's a faster approach. Brokey looking to sell the fake, smoking the molly, flashed in just with that Mac 10. But he won't be given a thing, not a morsel of information. And where do they go from here? Rain.
Close this one now for FaZe would be massive.
Triple con. Not something you see every day. Especially on a round with as much on the line as this one. Rain will be collapsed upon, and with him falling, we might see the go button hit from Brokey of all people. Frozen at the top of mid as well, drawing attention away, but the bomb we know is in PAL. So how do FaZe play this out with a man disadvantage?
So separated, aren't they? Of course, just trying to sell the fake here over towards B will be Brokey, but they've pulled away completely. If he could find a little bit of timing, maybe there's something worthwhile here, but the rotation, it's ready from GamerLegion. They're going to have to activate here. What does Frozen have in hand? Nothing, no utility, so it's going to have to be a dry walk out. Carrigan does have the molly, a single flash. If they spot something towards Ticket, maybe there's an opportunity here, but Elige just has to do it dry. On towards the position now, Frozen. Trained eye towards that location. They are going to be able to get the bomb plant here, Mac, but is there any utility to bank on down? No, it's just the Molotov to keep them bare. Time is ticking. Opportunity for GamerLegion to get back into this, but Brokey starts to activate.
He's on the wrong side, and it might be a little bit too late. The other boys have to hold from the front side, and Elige gets mollied into the open. Carrigan, what you got for us? Spray transfer attack works! Gonna be able to find 2 out of nowhere. The trade from ZTR, there's no kit there, and there may not be time as long as Frozen stops him, but he won't. Tapped again, Brokey. Crawling under the pressure, but does he have the time?
Oh, no way!
With a second.
Jesus! What a round from ZTR. The 1v3 clutch. The fact that he swings out on towards Brokey there, who was, a little bit late to the party. He brought beers, but unfortunately, I think he dropped a few on the way. That is absolutely nuts here. What a clutch from ZTR to keep the boys on the track. They managed to make it work, and they've had to immediately call for a pause just to try and settle. Jeez. They've broken something. And you can just see Frozen dejected as hell.
Looked like
Can we just wrap this one up, boys?
GL issue. Someone might have, unfortunately, thought it was all over. Might have been that guy on the screen. Who knows?
It may have been.
We can speculate all we want. Twitch chat, are we right? Was Slend out of there? Was Slend leaving the vicinity?
Yeah.
But fortunately, we are still gaming.
Mac, I love gaming. I'm having fun again. I mean, I've said this every single day. Maybe first map, first half starts a little slow, but then we get activated. Oh, it's a beautiful day to be a Counter-Strike fan across the globe. Everyone's going to start waking up soon. We've been up for a while. Slend gets that jump up towards short, now clearing. It is going to be the full mosey over towards the side of B here for FaZe early, it does seem. But of course, the thing that we haven't mentioned is, you know, that broken economy. They've had to full save to make sure that they can try and close it in regulation.
And there it is, the mid-round call. FaZe just with the Glocks. Looking to go strength in numbers. Trying to dead ball out. And look, you put the only gun that could do that in front and it hits. That may have been the only plan. Let's see if it pays off.
There's no one here, though. That's the only thing, right? I suppose they are going to have to swing around in towards it, but Carrigan's picked up PR, Mac. I don't want to start to sing a bit of a smelly tale, right? You know, it just should be silly. Of course, it should never work out.
No, never.
They've got enough utility to try and deny it. Elige will be taken down in the flames, and yeah, surely Frozen's going to get his head ripped off by Rez, of course. Okay, we can calm down. No Oblivion today. It's just going to be a 3K for Rez, and we're going to need all the regulation here. Could be a potential sniff at overtime for GamerLegion if they play their cards right. We'll have to determine if they can keep their composure.
All the way to the end of regulation. And it is Mirage. We love a bit of OT. And look, I'm happy to have as much Counter-Strike this evening as we can. Because both these teams want it. I think a 2-0 would not do it justice for either of these budding playoffs selections.
Not at all. You can stay up late, right? What time's your flight? Are you flying
tomorrow? I paid $100
or?
to change my flight 3 hours later, so I could have some sleep tonight. So.
Mamma mia. I wasn't wise enough. Mine's at 7:15 in the morning.
That's the exact same time as my flight, Mitch, because I'm 3 hours. Is it 3 hours ahead?
True, true.
Or am I 2?
Nah, 2 hours.
Okay.
In. Alrighty, well, last-ditch effort here for GamerLegion to see if they can continue to Mirage. And they've walked down mid. They've actually managed to find the timing. I don't think Slend is aware. Rez able to find the opening here. Oh, Mac, it's happening. Elige able to find the response back quickly. But what's the timer going to look like? Elige finds another. He slipped the net. He spotted the head. But he's got to be careful. They've got to clear this member and connect. Torsen will take 2. Done and dusted. Frozen now. Out main. He's been the clutch man before. Can he do it again? He spotted the AWP of Slend, but Torsen going to walk into connector, but he only baits it just for a quick second. The flash is over the top. He's been legged in the process. Has to engage again, but the kill switch will not be hit. Frozen just continuing to watch that line. Torsen gets the nade up, but it doesn't go the distance.
Look at the respect.
CTR in jungle. It should be A-OK, and it will be. Overtime does commence. Mac Daddy O, we are going the distance.
Job's not done. Great way to lock it in as well. That bomb goes down, and Elige, he did so much work initially, but just a fault, a lapse in judgment. Not clearing that corner. Not thinking maybe there's another one still. Putting the pressure on mid. And GL makes the right call at the right time.
Oh, Carrigan.
Oh, yeah, you want that, though. You want it done in regulation. Now they've got to do it all again, and there's guns in every one of these rounds.
Absolute cinema. It's what we hope for in a series like this. Qualification and elimination point. A team that's really itching to get a playoff in GamerLegion after missing the major. And of course, FaZe, a namesake. Brain, great opening here, dropping PR, a pivotal piece who has been a little bit quiet in this map. You know, everyone's been talking him up this competition. 4v5 early.
FaZe has been quite dominant towards the middle area in that second half. But yeah, GL just making some slight adjustments, winning some crucial rounds. Now we got to pump towards the A site. With the man advantage, Slend, not smoked off just yet. And, oh, has a missed opportunity. Shots on Frozen, who's just jumping, spotting, trying to get all that information and pass it across, but it's going to be AWP for AWP. Brokey taking Frozen down, or taking Slend down, rather, and Torsen hoping he can find something with a bad CT smoke, but FaZe still strong on the numbers and still perfectly in some solid post plants. Planted default, Torsen flicking around, hoping he can isolate the fights, which he does well.
Flank, Mac, flank, ZTR. Oh, he's ready for it, Carrigan. So aware. And Torsen, unfortunately, is going to be booted out of the server. Vote kick for the man as he does creep back into jungle. Obviously, they've got the money, but he wants to take that AWP. He can hit E and cruises back towards the market with his bag full of groceries. But he's run out of time to cook his meal prep. Will not happen today.
Oh, well, you thought he was buying food he had to cook? And he's just got that $10 Woolies chook, mate.
Should have.
Oh, good protein. We know GL. They are fit individuals. Step scale for all players in the tournament. Although, I dare say, Rain on the other side makes up for every single one of those GamerLegion members.
The Nordic god.
A lot of strength in
really
that Viking.
A pillar in real life.
All right, window smoke and top mid. But FaZe... Rain will have a helping hand in Brokey this time. Flashed in towards the tap side, and Carrigan make an early noise at unders, but hold that thought, Frozen. Looking to put some pressure towards that A main setup. GamerLegion have done this a few times where they love to just get fancy on one of the A extremities. Look to take that ramp control, but this time fended off. And FaZe just hitting that pause button.
Slen just shotgun AWPing up close with no HP to do it with. Just going to have to get straight back on towards that line. Frozen sitting, waiting for his teammate in Brokey to rotate around now. Nade goes in. They are starting to clear. They might be able to get onto that line, but Frozen opens up nicely. Torsen goes down. Slend, pressure is on. The Molotov will give them some additional time, but he crosses out and he's got past it. Frozen, another. This man wants the game to finish and finish immediately, but look at Rez. He's got into connector. He's found Carrigan, but Frozen also taken down by PR. There he is. We've been waiting for this man to activate now, Mac. Rain has to try get it done. Rez dropped inside connector. Back to a 2-on-2 here. Bomb moving towards the side in the hands of Brokey firmly. 35 seconds left on the clock. And with both these members coming through jungle, just like Tarzan, they're going to walk out quickly. Brokey, nice open plan here, Mac, but both members doubled up. Buddy system activates. Brokey on towards that line. He shots the elbow, but no, he misses it now. PR over the top. Rain to try and clutch, but he's dinked in the process. Has to fight the 1v1. He buys himself some additional time. The clutch minister who have to be a veteran inside the server. ZTR just waiting in his own head. Patiently jumping up, looks high. And now Rain can just slowly walk it away. There is no time. The nade goes up to just buy himself a little bit. Peppered down. And I think he's got it. Rain will be able to close out the round. It's going to be so bloody close. I don't think he's got it.
He does!
He does! Oh, Mac. How does this keep on going?
Well played from GL. Rain doing almost everything, but there's a second in it in the end. And he just doesn't quite do enough. Brokey missing. I wouldn't say it's the easiest shot in the world, but I wouldn't say it's the hardest. Just a missed tight shot and forced into the open. The protocols up until that point were great from both FaZe and GamerLegion. Both deciding to group up, cover each other, make sure the plant was down, and then also go for the trade in the end. But it's a fast approach FaZe. They have hit the accelerator straight to the floor. PR, he is swinging wide and looking to catch FaZe, but they love a fight. They love to go aggressive in these situations. But they will be peppered down. Both wounded and waltzing away. Elige allowed back into the ramp and still in the round with a shot, but it's going to take a miracle.
Do love this approach from ZTR, though, trying to cut them off. Minute 15, they've got plenty of time to make a decision on to where they want to go. But after being flooded out from Sandwich, they're going to just take their time. Brokey repositioning in towards Palace now. Just a single flash in both of these players' hands. What can they make it work with? Slend, sole member on that line. They've had to split up so far, but again, the information gathered by ZTR. If he chooses, he can already start to call that flank. But GamerLegion are primed. to try and close this round here, Mac. Creeping out main now. When will he watch the cross? When will he peek in towards that line? Looks like Rez is setting himself up for a peek from jungle. I think he's actually got the information onto Brokey as well. Now Slend posted. Molotov out towards jungle, but the rotation's already coming around from Rez, Mac. This is going to be a toughie.
Oh, strikes true. And that'll be the bomb down in an odd position still. The CTs. Oh, okay, Elige. 1v3, 10 seconds to plant. And starts to strike through ticket. But we're swapping the halves with GL in the lead. 14 to 13. The man advantage more than enough to get it across the line. And the patience for that flank to activate just to make sure it looks that little bit easier.
Really good response there, isn't it? You know, such a nice opening from PR. As I said, he has been a player that many have chosen to highlight about how good he could be. And he was a little bit quiet in the start here, but the impact frags are really starting to come out. Every single member of GamerLegion activated. Similarly could be said for FaZe, but it's been Frozen and Lige, the heroes trying to close it. Brokey also there in the conversation. Now Slen, look at this, getting all the way up, narrowly missing the head. No free haircuts today for Papa Carrigan.
Elige as well, looking to abuse this smoke. The GamerLegion have thrown it mid. Using it as cover initially, but GL playing slow. They don't want to be going down without being tradable. And I liked that setup with the incendiary at unders. Slend gets left solo. In the meanwhile, ZTR has made his way back towards T-spawn to re-smoke window. But with FaZe playing in front of the smoke, they're going to be happy as Larry to keep on brawling. That brawl might be imminent.
55 seconds left now, so they have burnt down a fair bit of time. As ETR starting to get in towards position here. Brokey just firmly trained eye on towards that top mid position. The jiggle from ZTR, when's it going to start to come out here? There it is, the shoulder, but he goes straight back in, and Elige double up towards underpants. He makes it work, he drops them. And now, as they start to march their way out over the top of stairs, Rain will deny, and PR, he's going to be looking for it. The paparazzi are all out to get him here this time round. They're going to have to try and manage it, but that is a clean sweep here from FaZe. Nicely done. Good recovery here in the first round of the second part of OT1.
Did you mean to say underpants?
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
That was the regular call.
Okay. I was just wondering where your brain was if that was an accident. But look, bomb went down, and the round got so much easier for FaZe, and we're going to need a few more rounds to split these two. 2 more at least, if not another whole set of OT. And we see GL calling their timeout now. Ash wants a say into the adjustments he'd like to see made.
Just teetering on a knife's edge, isn't it, for both these teams? I feel like one good push could close out the map entirely. Final 2 rounds of this overtime, first to 16, as all you beautiful people watching along at home know it. Money's good. Everything is settled. But they'll need to double up here unless we've got overtime at number 2 on the cards. Now marching straight up mid. Slen is going to go for the opener. Just tickles the tootsies though of Frozen, who will be able to find it back immediately. Now they have to pick up the pace here, Mac. Looking to get out. It's Rain who will open up onto PR. Torsen though. Rez, they find the trade, and ZTR over the stairs drops Elige down. Frozen again low from the earlier exchange. This might one be impossible for FaZe to try and recover.
Bro, that was just complete overpowering. GL going screw it. They're playing for mid. We're taking A right here, right now. And there was nothing that FaZe could do to stop that. The rifling call from GL. Just farming up a storm, 1 apiece so far. And now we need Frozen to put on his big boy pants. Carrigan as well will be left last alive. And that nade gets the job done. Finished in the end. But the molly burning and disrespected will be enough to take Carrigan down. GL, their map pick.
And their map point. Was not expecting this one to turn the way it did. Of course, FaZe, they set themselves up for success to try and close this map. But unfortunately, Mac, they are choking a little bit. We've seen Carrigan imitate that in the past. previously joking, but this time it feels like a little bit realistic. Again, as we said, this was GamerLegion's map selection. But FaZe is certainly not one that's inexperienced across this map. So they're just really talking it out. You start to see it get a little bit more intense. Frozen trying to get some pep in the boys' step. Whereas Coach Ash is calm and collected.
Yeah, it looked like they were having a good conversation, just ironing out whatever seems to be going wrong. Everyone having their say into how they want to play this one. And it looks like FaZe are expecting potentially a faster approach towards A. Early incent towards the ramp, Slend with the boost. Won't be able to find anything, but it's mid now where the pressure is built. Smoke from a leash just to slow down a comp pump. But there's going to be a 1-4 split towards the A site. That's what they're looking at here. As Torsen just goes for the slow re-clear on Pal in the meanwhile. It will just be boiling down to how this utility gets used. And that's a nice read from FaZe. Just starting to rotate the smokes at Con. Will delay the hit from GL. 3 players ready to go straight up on a flash on a moment's notice. Slend with 2 of them towards the top of mid. Re-smoke there. Smoke about to clear at Con. We're about to have some action.
I think we are. This could be another overtime, Mac, or it could be the clear. FaZe are certainly set up for success, but can GamerLegion overwhelm them? Last time they took the gloves off, there was a winnable round prospect. Now Elige onto the line, not clearing stairs. Oh no! Rez does get the trade, Mac. There's an opportunity, but there's Carrigan and Rain from the jungle side. Rez gets another, maybe picking up the pieces for the team here, ready to clear out the sandwich, and he does it. Bomb still dropped. That's the only concern here. It is in vision of old mate from the other side in Brokey. It has to be Rez to try and be the clutch minister. He would need to be on for the ace. What Frozen did before. Now Brokey inside the smoke. He's got to buy the time. If they go for this fight, but it's the dunk, and we do go again. Brokey perfectly timed nade from the 3-point line. We go again.
From downtown, and FaZe are still living in this matchup. 15 apiece. And we go again. One more OT to try to split the difference between these two. And I'm loving what I'm seeing round after round. I thought Rez might have been cooking for a moment there. But alas, too low. The HE, the shrapnel, that takes him out.
Yeah. If Frozen didn't get the tag onto his head, maybe there was an opportunity for him to do it. He looked like he was going to try take the duel towards Connector, but really, really nice heads-up counter-strike from FaZe to bring them through. Rez almost 30 frags now. It's just going to be Elige spotting towards mid early. Obviously, no spot on the information. The utility does start to barrage down again, but same could be said from FaZe. It's a little bit of a slower default here from GamerLegion, Mac, just waiting to see if any reactive counter-strike comes through. But Torsen just watching on towards that line. Brokey a little bit more passive towards the apartments here. Buddy, I love this game, man. So good. No one with a clear lead at all throughout the entirety of this map of Mirage.
Just brains going toe to toe. Different ideas. Different counter strats. And we'll see who ends up becoming the victor. And this is only map 1 of the series. If we get a flop after this, I feel like everyone's going to be a little bit sad. But time will tell. And this job ain't done just yet. Re-smoke towards mid-window. One towards Con as well. Looks like we are going to see GL try and maybe feign themselves a B split. But Brokey's posted deep at apps and he ain't seeing a thing. Molly towards ramp allows Rain to try and fight this. Getting real aggressive and looking to draw attention away from Frozen, but the crossfire's established and the Molly is doing God's work. Frozen yet to be seen, yet to reveal his hand. And there's a man across the top of him going for the transfer, but it's Elige to find the Pal player, and this is looking damn good. FaZe the fuck up.
Couldn't have said it any better myself, Mac. Nice resurgence there from FaZe. A great round to bring themselves into the lead once again, but the patience here, the Molotov from Rain to keep them begging. Frozen and Elige striking at the right time. There was so much trigger discipline there to not overstep, to not get overwhelmed. FaZe have had a great read towards A the last couple of rounds, and yeah, That hand sign certainly being thrown up.
Ooh, faster pump. Torsen beats the molly. It has been heard by Carrigan, who drops the HE and allows Brokey to post from across at the market. All eyes on. Carrigan able to be reactive off the back of it, but no one showing pressure at mid at the moment for GL. FaZe respecting it this time. A much deeper approach by all regards.
Patience is a virtue here, Mac. Real slow creep. Just Brokey on towards that line. Carrigan's going to now have to turn the tide a little bit here. They don't have a molly to try and slow this down, just a singular HE. And now a smoke to go in, but surely they are going to try and push in front of that now, or do they? They do buy some additional time, but they do start to creep now. Matt Carrigan caught with his pants down there. Gonna be awkward, but he does manage to get one. Will it be a second? No. Taken down quickly, but here's Brokey. Time to activate, my friend. All eyes on you, Slend. On towards that line, but Rain's still kicking. He does connect, and now it's back to the 2-on-1. Oh, man, Rain too far away to try and succeed into this one. Already Torsen up towards short. Might be able to pick him up before the round even continues, but if Rain can get this, if he can connect, no, denied. Torsen gets it back. GamerLegion. They're just going tit for tat at this point in time, aren't they?
Yeah. Intelligent positioning there from Torsen. Heard him coming. Stayed on the off angle. Continued to jiggle and found what he needed. Nice attempt from Carrigan and Brokey to hold on. But again, Slend, patience with time ticking down. That pressure forcing the peek out from Brokey instead. And now we're tied up again, Mitch. A familiar scenario. 16 apiece. Last round of this half. We got FaZe looking to fight for mid this time. GamerLegion not too far away and thinking about it as well, but they're going for this contact out main and the timing has favoured them. Brokey, aware of the first but not another, and might just walk into the crosshair for free. PR doing great work at clearing out the A site, but needs to find some more, and he'll do just that with a double. A Liege to answer and a bomb on the ground, but where did GL go with this?
Yeah, there's a bit of panic, isn't there? A spot of bother, because look at the timing from Rez, the trigger discipline. Oh, Frozen looks back, has to strike whilst the iron's hot, and now they rotate all the way around. They've got time to make it work. The re-aggression from Elige and Carrigan. They clear this one out quickly. If they look to get this information, surely they'll be able to start to push down, and there it is, Elige tucking himself into the corner. Now Carrigan. Some good fundamentals here. The due diligence to make sure they do it nice and slow. They don't want to pick up the pace too early. But there it is. Surely the call starts to come out now. I love the respect being given by GamerLegion. Could be aware that someone is maybe waiting, but now they just start to question themselves. You can see Elige is starting to panic a little bit. Carrigan going so slow. They're going to need to put down the foot onto the accelerator at some point, Mac.
It's such a risk when you're in that position as Carrigan. You don't want to make a move in case they were a main, but now they'll take a gamble. They'll take a risk with a faster flank, and that molly going down, it allows them to know that that's exactly where GL are going. Elige making the jump across to short to reposition. No one close enough to hear it. Oh, and the timing. Carrigan, has he spotted that? Is this a freebie for the equalizer?
Could very well be, Mac, but he has to clear. He's gone below. Oh, no! Slend, he's got the no-scope. Carrigan not clearing his corners. A veteran in the server and a basic fundamental missed. But he overlooks it, didn't quite get the spot. The timing doesn't favour him, and Slend will close. GamerLegion take the lead back. They just need 2 more here to further their attempt in towards the playoffs, into the arena at Rod Laver.
Oh, he was scoped too. He didn't see him. Oh, catastrophic situation. And you've got to mentally reset moving into the next half. GL need just 2 to take Mirage. Lordy me. This is a game.
This is a great game, Mac. I'm seeing the chat there up and down. I remind you all that the loser of this series, ladies and gentlemen, they will go home. They will jump back onto a plane to Europe. The winners will be able to engage in the arena. And I remind you all, if you're not there, you're not living. It is going to be electrifying starting Friday.
Okay. FaZe. Back on the offense. And no holds barred. Rain going real wide, real early with the top mid smoke. Flash to support him from Brokey and another to come through. Timing good, but GL not quite aware that he's all towards the tap side. Gets a tap himself, but not the second. PR playing the buddy system, close to fight for mid. And they're happy with the pick. But where to from here? FaZe backing the hell up and making sure they don't give away any more picks for free. And it is just going to be that regroup towards A and hopefully win the trade out.
So good from Rain to just find that opening, but traded out, of course. Buddy system working. Slendo finding Frozen. Now they have to activate Mac. The late lurk out from Carrigan. All reliance has to go onto Elige and Brokey, but Carrigan, he's taken by PR, and this could be one setting themselves up for map point. GamerLegion, a prospect, a possibility. Elige gets low and close. Slen forced away, but Elige, he's managed to slip the wickets. He's done what he needed to do. The job already starting to commence, but look at this flank Mac. ZTR already getting around. They will have to push forward, but already the heads up counter-strike from Slen. He's waiting for the push. He knows there is a prospect. Brokey has to go deep, but now he has to start to clear a level of awareness as we do see ZTR go into Palace. It is going to be all onto timing, all onto a slither of mistaking here. Brokey misses a crucial shot and Torsen will take him. Now Elige in pole position to try and clutch this one out. It would have to be a massive 1v3 as the smoke will go onto the bomb, trying to get onto the defuse. There's one. He gets the Glock out, but will he be able to hit the shot? Will he be able to connect? No. And I think there is enough time. There absolutely is. GamerLegion set themselves up onto 18. One more needed to take the first map of this series.
Oh. They figure out where he is thanks to the process of elimination. Everyone's come from everywhere else. And with that bomb planted open, there was a chance he got that going, but he didn't want to reload. And he ran out of bullets on that first spray. Unfortunate scenes for him. But GL fans are going to be happy with that. Insta window, as well as top mid. And a faster approach into ladder this time. We'll see if GL want to fight for short again. But the incendiary is going to force Brokey back towards that tap side. A similar situation to the last round for FaZe. Not really too much of a change up at mid. But the double setup in apps is looking to punish aggression. Slend ain't doing that though. Just posted deep from the balcony. And Frozen. Oh. Won't go with the initial flash. In with the second. And Slend in a rough spot, but he hits the shot he needs to.
Impact frags from Slend, isn't it? He's been hitting the ones that he needs. Elige now has to try and make this one work again. Smoke towards top of connector. The bomb will rotate around, but PR, look at him go, Mac. He's already cleared out A main. That is so much information. They know where they can go here. Where does FaZe choose to end this round? It's so awkward. This is where the panic starts to set in. The sweat on the brow of FaZe Clan.
That smoke fading. There's three next to him. How the hell do you play this, Mitch? Oh, and it's not gone well for the first, but the info there has been spotted. Bomb now deciding where it needs to go. Flank activating. PR. It's his moment to find the info, and the bomb's gone down to Torsen in the meanwhile. Needs to be retrieved with 30, and there's flames on it. Elige. He needs to save the day here. 1v3, 30 on the clock, and so many CTs to get past. The read was good, but the shot ain't it, and GL punish FaZe for hanging around a bit too long.
Oh man, it was 12-9, and then GamerLegion recover. They take it to overtime, and then they take their opening map pick of Mirage here in the lower bracket finals. My word, they want to get towards this qualification. They reckon FaZe has the tenure to take Nuke, but whether or not it'll be comfortably, that'll be the question. I need to sort of test it, seeing how they get out of the gates immediately on towards this side of T. But I am, reading the script right now, and it's definitely called for a 3-mapper.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, congratulations, FaZe. You've already won the map. But let's see if they do it on the T side or the CT side and how the narrative plays itself out. Rez, probably going to be the first point of contact here over towards outside. Man loves to be in control. But how's this timing going? Clear in silo, spotting red, and oh, nobody dead just yet, but the info now in the hands of GL. Waterfall smoke allows Elige to get a little frisky with it. Going to rack towards Unbreakable, but the two CTs that he has to fight now. Brokey has his back, but it's PR to strike true, and ZTR straight through the smoke is able to find at least a bit more mayhem.
Can Brokey slow this down? Gonna drop towards Secret. They've already got one member waiting. That's gonna be Slend. Not the AWP to hold on to, obviously, in this round. Just the pistol. But he does wait on the rafters, looking to actually jump onto the silo as well. Is he going to spot early on? He does tap away, but unfortunately, those legs, great shot onto Rain as he can twist the tides. It would have to be Brokey to go for the big clutches, Mac. You know that he can hit these, but he's taken. Torsen does connect. A little bit of a whiff there from Brokey onto the second. But look, he already had 3. How much more can the man do? Pistol goes the way of GamerLegion. Great start.
They've gone every pistol this series now. Yeah. I think they started strong initially, then the second half as well. So it just goes to show that FaZe are still bringing the heat, especially on those gun rounds, because they're able to stay in the fight without winning these pistols. But they need to do something more here. They do have that AK in the hands of Frozen, who was putting on a performance for us, on Mirage at least. But where's he going now? Part of the packet outside. Elige looking for that one bullet pop potential with the dig in hand, providing the overwatch from Silo. And GL unfazed. They got Rez down in the halls already. Heavy defense towards the upper side, ready to rotate if needed. And Slend with the MP9 finds that there is an AK in the mix.
Just buying their time now. I think they've actually slipped the net here, getting towards that heaven position, but making a hell of a lot of sound. Slend now spotted. Frozen does have the helmet on, but that's a great shot from Rain, making a little bit of room up towards heaven. Now Rez trying to get back up. Carrigan has found Torsen as well. All of a sudden, this round is in favor of FaZe, but Rez waiting from the annex, able to find one, dropping it down, but ZTR also looking for more. PR's found another. It's going to have to be onto Frozen, who does have that AK. Bomb dropped. A little bit of an awkward collect as well, Mac. He has to go fishing here. Now they start to clear out. Both these MP9s could be the claws. They swing together, and it's PR to close. Nice little 2K. Picks up the AK, and that will send FaZe packing. No bomb plant here either. What do they even do?
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest detriments in the round is not getting that package down. Because if they did, and there was only one CT alive, that opens the gates for another force buy. Knowing that the CT economy can be fragile in those positions. But again, the trade game just so good. And fundamentally, GL, you can see that they are prepped, pracked, and ready, knowing exactly how they want to play these situations, this man advantages, stay close, trade out, and put themselves in as many positions to succeed as possible. This round, though, FaZe not bringing too much heat, but they did get pretty close on Mirage a few times with buys like this, so we won't count them out.
Smoke blown open. Means Slend will find one, but Frozen makes quick work of Rez. Still going to be a very, very challenging round as they drop lower. ZTR has been spotted, looking to get that smoke down. It's going to be on this cross, though. Carrigan surely going to be felled by PR, absolutely. Again, it's only Brokey with the Kevlar and the helmet. Frozen just keeping watch over towards Annex. This, again, feels like a little bit of an impossible round for FaZe. But just with that one member, we do see the rotation, though, down Noah from PR, which should basically close the door. 45 seconds.
Nice safe jump peek. Info gained. Ooh, it goes back for seconds. But we'll dodge the pain of those Deagles. PR in a great position to deal with the door pump if they come out double. Ooh, and spots the push towards control instead. They're hungry for blood. They're looking for it. ZTR only good for one. And an MP9 could have been retrieved, but they got no idea that PR is poised and waiting. But now there's a space and time maybe in that smoke to get the bomb planted. XM hunting for kills at this range. It's not that effective, but Slender's there to lend a helping hand.
Still some pretty decent damage, though, Mac. If they were able to find that bomb plant, it really would have set themselves up for success in towards this next round. But GamerLegion solidify 3, 2 alive, money not perfect. So I think that's going to be their main call for concern into the round of 4. But nonetheless, rounds around. If they can establish some sort of response here, avoid getting broken, they might be okay. But Slend with that AWP now in hand, only Torsen taking the knee with the XM.
Yeah, other than that though, you hit the nail on the head. Financially, GL, are not in a great place. Maybe looking for some loans soon. So this gun round, incredibly important. And with PR going down, one of your key pieces of the puzzle, that gives FaZe a whole bolstered confidence.
Happy with that opener, now slowing down the time inside lobby, waiting to see if there's any reaction to come out from GamerLegion. Where's Slend? It's waiting patiently now. Little bit of a wraparound. Checking down lowers. Rain will find his way into secret. Obviously, they've got one at the back of warehouse in the form of Rez. And now they just creep back up, looking to take ramp control as a unit here. And just happy to leave Rain down below.
Off angle in the vent works wonderfully. And Slend striking lets them know that there's an AWP on lower. Boys, maybe we can pump that. Maybe we can trade it out. Because they know that he's going to be hanging around towards those double doors. But instead, FaZe have a sniff towards CT. Rez caught in transition. And things get even more awkward for GL. Torsen with an XM could pump Carrigan like it's nothing. One shot, couple of pellets to the head, and ZTR fast on the flank at Heaven. But how loud has he been? And no one's looking this direction. The other boys need to draw attention away. They're still frozen on the rafters. This is the man that needs to be watching Heaven, and he will flick back in time with the cover. That should be the nail in the coffin for the round. But this nade could be big. Dodged. Oh, a little bit too much hurt on that ball. And unfortunately for GL, what could have been goes the other way.
Not Shane Warne today, mate. A little bit too much topspin. Oh, rough. Could have been a huge response there from Torsen to find that, but Brokey now drops. Slend will find him. But they're both very, very low, likely not to survive. Maybe Frozen if he gets into position further. Okay, Lige also tucks himself in. Should be A-okay. Slend lives on with the AWP, so that's a journey towards destruction of this economy. But I suppose, you know, FaZe obviously don't walk away unscathed either.
Love a bit of action with the crocodile. But FaZe have entered the fray. And all it took was a couple of guns. GL buying back with a worse buy than before, but it is Nuke. And given the tools that they have brought to the party, there is still a chance for them to find solid impact. ZTR spotting the cross on the back left side of door, and Slend locks him in. Frozen, no more.
As the man who you need to see doing things with that AWP, 6-1 now is Slend. Walking through, ZTR really playing with fire here outside the door. Brokey will look to get that re-smoke down, but it's all going to be a matter of timing here. ZTR looks like he's actually chosen to pull away. Just still waiting inside lobby. Again, these close-range weapons, it's so awkward. FaZe don't really know where they want to take this. Once again, you know, Rain slotted himself down lowers, but Slend playing a different off angle this time from the other side events.
Full contact at outside. Bit of noise being made on that boost. I don't know whether Carrigan has heard it though. The GamerLegion just shifting the pieces as it's all on Slend again, this time in a different position on the line, moving, still hits. The connection is great, and Slend wants to buy the time, but both men there will at least control the lower side and maybe have the space to plant, depending on if Rez can hold from that right side of ramp. Left as well, mollied. Great utility held till the bitter end, but ZTR is not going to be looked at. Will maybe pick a fight, but goes... or doesn't. He's just looking at the door. It's a great door. It's a yellow door. Lige, though, he's holding the door. And that's a little bit better. FaZe going to be flipping this around on its head. PR, 1v1, and Lige is that much better on the rifle. FaZe back for a second.
Was that a 2 versus 5, man? Slend able to find that shot, narrowly missing the second, goes to the re-peak, and then Lige and Brokey absolutely open up the waterworks for GamerLegion.
Yeah.
Upsetting position to find yourself in. Yeah, there you go, you know, crispy shots from Slend. Rez, yeah, it was a 2 versus 5. What a turn of the tides.
Tell you what didn't open? That bloody door. Was inspected well. But I thought ZTR had that on the timing. Just hesitated. One of the rest of GamerLegion in positions where they should have been able to trade. But Brokey playing from an intelligent position to isolate all those fights he needed to. And now it's just a couple of pistolas for GamerLegion, which gets dangerous because FaZe are on the edge of tying things up. Full A-site stack for GL. And Rain, he is hungry. We're going to get those gains with the Mackie in hand.
Chomping down.
Gentlemen's agreement.
Stalemate. Who peeks first? Looks like it will be FaZe. Rain able to make quick work of ZTR. Good utility. He's done it solo. Elige will be there to support in the end, but Carrigan also opens up, so they make their way out the door nice and cleanly. Really good foundations there, just making sure they wait out the early game and then get it done. That smile, that damn smile. But nonetheless, FaZe, they've managed to tie it up here, and that's really good money there for Rain as well. Just lining the pockets. They're going to be in a pretty happy position where the same could not be said for GamerLegion. No AWP up for Slend in this round, Mac. Just limited utility, no kits, and M4s across the board.
Let's see how they fashion this one. Red wall of smokes instead of diags this time. And FaZe have been enjoying going down through the halls. This time it may just be Rain on the mission with the Mackie. Expendable. I'm not going to make those info plays. Rez hearing everything as the drop goes down. And Slend will be tucking his booty at the back of, well, we call that garage in Europe. It's warehouse over here. But when I say warehouse in Europe, Mitch, people get confused. So it's Gary.
Nah, I was going to confuse it even more. Bunnings Warehouse. Lowest prices are just the beginning.
Yep, good couple of snags. Yep. Make sure you get the onions. The onions are very good. Make sure you get a bit of bloody tomato sauce, not ketchup. We don't do ketchup here in Australia.
Still will never forget Heku Electronic going out there to run the sausage sizzle.
Pouring out
back in IEM Sydney 2023. Exactly right. Slend, he's pouring one out. But only the one. Elige does get the trade out quickly. Frozen from the door now, Mac. 45 seconds. It's really starting to tick, but that's PR diving his way in towards the lobby. Shocking Brokey. Frozen though. Can he get the trade? No. PR just continues kicking forward. ZCR dropping. It's all left on the Rain. He's got a lot of work to do here, but with only the Mac 10, unfortunately, it might be a little bit too tricky. Yeah, FaZe caught lacking there. What a push from PR.
Let's go, let's go. Rain.
Let's go. Get her done. Rifling proficiency from GamerLegion is looking good. Just had to,
I love him.
He just had to get the brain kicking, you know? It's not firing. The neurons, they need to be turning. Chat, how many neurons do you guys have? Type it in chat. Let me know. I don't know how many neurons are in a human brain, and I feel like you're the perfect specimens for us to figure that out. And then we'll figure out from that how many neurons Brokey just fired with the, what would you call that? Would you, the technical term be a forward finger? It was like a aggressive 10 finger tap. I've watched it back on stream. Didn't like that.
Oi, oi, oi. So back with another effort. FaZe have obviously put in some decent work here. 3 rounds on the trot on the T side, but GamerLegion able to stabilize with a round advantage. Outside control, a little bit of awareness. No smokes down though just yet. Molotov to clear red. As Frozen just takes watch. Brokey now looking to see if he can peek in towards garage. Nothing there though for now.
Great timing on that molly. But an incendiary sent the other way. So both teams having the similar idea and looking to fight around here, dink for dink, but the 8K hits harder. And that's going to be Hall's control with ZTR falling as well as Rez. Things getting awkward now. GL need to figure out how to get back into the round. And PR was hoping someone would walk into his crosshair here. Just playing from hell, hoping someone gives him anything. But FaZe are frozen. And with the smoke perfectly at Unbreakable, PR has to rely on pure luck and timing to maybe connect, and he'll do just that. Elige falls, and that could be an opening back in.
Got to drop down quickly, though. Slen still keeping his eyes on ramp. Frozen, though, baiting them out. Torsen does find that one, but they've shifted it back. Now heading over towards that top side, Mac. Slen does have to rotate through, and I think for them, it's probably an immediate call to get out of dodge. No interest. Just a simple round for FaZe. It was a nice opening to the bank account.
Ooh.
Even Carrigan dropping Slen there, too, so no exit here. Oh, man, the money... It is looking very dire for GamerLegion. They are going to have to make a pretty rough decision. I guess you'll invest, but it's a volatile market.
Unk still got it. That flick was nice. Needs to be said. Carrigan finds his third in a stylish manner. But again, yes, that economy not looking good. PR with an AK in hand gives them a shot, a chance, a way to maybe find a fifth in the next. And we did get the results from chat. I think the majority of chat had one neuron firing in that frontal cortex.
Perfect.
So
that's all we need sometimes.
Here we go. And Brokey, we know he's got a very big brain, although I heard sometimes you might kill the neurons when you hurt yourself or like tap your head like that. So if he had 100, he tapped with 10 fingers twice. That's minus 20. So he's only got 80 left. 80 big neurons.
Educational stream.
Thank you, chat.
We're here to teach. Also here to learn. Learn how to play some bloody good Counter-Strike. And really for FaZe, it's just about not making any mistakes here in this round.
Mm-hmm.
If they let PR have a little sniff.
Mitch, were you a good student?
No. Horrible.
Damn. So what
Just
have you
wanted
learned
to go home and play some video.
What have you learned on Nuke so far?
Warehouse is called Garage.
Yep.
L smokes.
Mm-hmm.
FaZe Clan.
FaZe Clan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Singular,
Look,
not plural.
That's not bad. That's not bad. Like, that's a couple of things, and I'm glad that you've learnt today.
Thank you.
Proud of you, mate.
I'll be a good student for you, Mac, as my teacher.
I prefer the term trainer.
I'll take that personal.
Mm-hmm. Well, FaZe have gone for the reroute. Crispy deagle shot to kick things off in the round. AK, I believe, actually. That gets tossed across to Rez. And now it's going to be the A site, the priority. AK gets retrieved through the fence, and now there's extra stopping power. But it's going to be the retake for GL if they even get a chance to go for it. FaZe with plenty of space on the A site, and Slen still with Heaven. There is a chance for GL to posture and go for it.
They don't seem overly keen, though, do they? Nah, just booking it.
They like the taste of these AKs.
Yeah, they've got some Kev for Torsen, 2 AKs. I guess it's wise. They are sending Slend in. They're just seeing if there's anything more. Torsen, no, that AK's already gone, mate. Relax. It's already been picked up. Now just trying to play some further exits here. They might get a catch over towards lobby here if Slend can find the timing. But they surely are going to be ready for it. So he's just going to be watching straight in. Unk into the crosshair. And he's taken. Great shot from Brokey. And it will just be the 3 alive. So the kit will not be taken into the next round. Let's hope that doesn't come back to bite him.
Here's that open up. Crispy shot from PR. Answered by Brokey, who is connecting on the AWP today. It's what you love to see. Already having a pretty decent game for himself. It was a lovely 2v5 earlier on against 3D Max that they managed to win. Both Brokey and Carrigan, if you saw that.
Yep. It's Brokey and Elige that had this that 2v5 earlier, wasn't it?
Today? Like
just in Nuke. In Nuke, this map, yeah.
And when I say today, chat, I mean like the working day, which started
the working day.
An hour and a half ago, maybe 2 hours ago now. Yeah, something like that.
For some.
Who knows when the day starts.
You're always working, Mac.
My brain's still in Europe, mate. Yeah. Although, the jet lag has kind of gone today, and I'm very happy about that.
What time to wake up?
8.
Oh, so normality back.
Yeah, fully normal.
Damn, son. Time to ruin it in about a week's time.
Oh, hell yeah. Don't tell the missus. But, ooh, Brokey not going to be missing anything with that one. Slend going AWP for AWP. Band for band. Will be hitting the ground. So heavy investment for Nada. And Brokey just looking for some extra aggression. GL need to be the ones to try and look for an opening in the round or just try and hold some solid crossfires, but that hasn't been working. FaZe doing very well so far, and Rez not quite ready for that flank coming in at main. It's just a matter of when FaZe want to go for the pop. Where we got a leash here? Outside smokes. Well smokes. Coming through there from the one spot. Throw that in the strat book if you haven't seen it. Very useful. And that will allow Rain to turn this into a B crunch unless PR stops that from happening. Eli's going to get dinked and the bomb has been seen, but in the meanwhile, it's a crunch on lobby and it gets completely mopped up. FaZe, guns out, sun's out, and damn, it's shining.
Brokey literally flexing on him right now. That's an opening. The duality of the AWPer, right? You know, missing some crucial shots on Mirage that did allow GamerLegion back into the map, but this time around, Brokey is 15 and 6, absolutely decimating the side of GamerLegion. Happy about it. You can see he's getting a little bit stressed, but he is blessing the team for FaZe, 14 and 6 rather, but GamerLegion now back on a bit of a motley looking buy. Couple of MP9s, some pistols, a minor bit of utility, but not a hell of a lot of Kev. Trying to make it awkward, Mac. And look at this pace already. Elish on the top of Annex roof, dropping down, manages to slip the net, going all the way around.
Has it been heard? Or did they combine it with a flashbang to try and catch this timing? And it looks like GL are taking a little while to react to it. They are aware. PR 5-7 at the ready. But if Elish makes it to heaven before PR gets a shot, then he'll find that A site fully open. And it should just be a large W from that point. Oh, Rain reacting, but no cover in this position. It's a very awkward fight, and there's more of the CTs than of Rain's.
Leash is making so much sound, but still going unspotted. Able to find one, but ZTR gets the response. Oh, God, it's going a little bit scrappy now, Mac. The AK, it's been recovered. He's got Kevlar to work with. They're still outside, though, towards Warehouse, only leaving Carrigan inside the lobby to just try and call around the mid. He does actually manage to pick up ZTR as well, so that's the important weapon taken down. Torsen does pick up an AK, though, in the process. Now moving his way back towards Hell. Where are they going to end here? Looks like it will be top site. 35 seconds left to go. But you've got Torsen up in heaven. Slend will look to join them soon, Mac. It's still going to be a tough round to cheer for FaZe. 3 versus 3. Now the timer starts to tick. Looking to walk in, clearing out fake vent, keeping a keen eye on towards heaven. Molotov goes down, but they're going to get pushing. Carrigan drops Slend. Torsen will have to wait patiently. It's going to be on to Rez. If he pops up the vents at the right time, it's going to be a tough one for Carrigan. When does Torsen pull the plug, pull the trigger? Doesn't look like they're going to be doing that at all. Rez calls the cancel and heads out a secret.
Yeah, pulling out is what they're doing. AK, very much savable, and Rez just looking for damage or to find a primary of his own. Here's those footsteps leaving. Frozen, going to be the target. But he is ready, willing, and able to keep fighting there, but Rez will survive. And FaZe secure themselves 7 with the possibility of 8. Brokey falls, but there's cash anyway, so it don't matter. And GL looking like they're going to have a big old hill to climb on that T side in the second half.
Not going to be a worry at all financially for FaZe. And it's no AWP for Brokey either. They're just going to go straight for the AKs. Maybe something a little bit quicker, a little bit more aggressive to try and rub salt in the wound for GamerLegion. But yeah, as you mentioned, 8 rounds on the cards potentially here for FaZe. Looking to set up very, very quickly, Max. Straight out on the top side. Here we go. Action station. Carrigan. He's out. Torsen does manage to get the trade quickly, but now Molotov does get one. Brings it down to an equalizer. 3-on-3. PR up from heaven. It's not working out for FaZe right now. Brokey dunked down. You are spot on. And now it simmers. Back to a 3-on-2. Bomb planted.
Plenty of util for the retake. 2 kits there. Rez and PR, the owner of those. But it's all eyes on FaZe and how they want to try and lock this in with a man disadvantage. Elish looking to be the point man. Eyes on heaven. Flashes. Not quite connecting on the young gun American. the solid soldier, but he's going to be doing it all himself, flicking around like a damn swivel. 3 big kills in the post plant, and it will solidify 8 for FaZe. Let's see what happens in the second half. The hell up. Let's go. Second half just here. And I'm looking for a third map. I feel like FaZe have already tasted the W, but GL, what can they do here in the second half to shut me the hell up?
Lightweight, baby, is all we're really hoping for in this series right now. FaZe are looking jacked up. But can they continue this form into the next half? GamerLegion on towards the T. A little bit of form could bring them back into contention here. Obviously with a map advantage right now, but already ZTR getting the wraparound, and he's made a hell of a lot of sound, so surely he's going to keep them interested here. The rest of the team going down secret.
Not going to lie, I'm quite puffed. I don't know why. I had a nice rest during the break.
Maybe, 30 reps of 60 is pretty crazy.
What are you talking about?
Sorry, 100.
No.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
Rain? What is this round?
What are you talking about?
Let's fucking
Where'd the round go? Couldn't have said it better my fucking self.
Oh man, what a way to open up the bank account, hey, for FaZe. Rain with a crispy, quick 3. Actually slowed down Torsen onto that engagement as well. Carrigan able to find the closure. and they are pumped the hell up. Brokey well and truly awake. You're starting to see them activate, aren't you? Elige 14 and 6. He was in a head-to-head up against Rez. It was 3 for 10. Yet to activate here on this map, Mac. It was a very close one. Well, no, sorry. Very dominant one is what I was going for GamerLegion up against Complexity earlier. Same could not be said right now for them here up against FaZe.
Yeah. And the T side off to a unfortunate start. But if FaZe get back on that FaZe style of Counter-Strike that we know and that they feel confident in playing, then look, GL could be in trouble. And you better believe that they'll be looking at that third map to try and wrap things up. This map, this round, however, probably just going to be, you know, an effort by committee. All of GL hoping that the Glocks can ring true at range, but Brokey, he can sniff those eco frags a mile away.
You tag him, I'll bag him. Both ready to swing on a dime. Rain able to open up nicely. Brokey for 1, make it 2. A nice and clean eco. Not a single member taken from FaZe. And that's 2 rounds in a row where that has not happened. So you're going to be pretty happy with that one. Really good round up there. 10 double digits this early in the map. It feels just completely different when lined up against Mirage. What we saw earlier, Mac. Double OT. Not necessary here.
This is the one that GL have to try to pick up if they want any chance of having some presence in the second half. Frozen, the point man, with an MP9 at ramp, looking like he may be tested, given the positioning of GamerLegion. And Torsen, he's just having a sneaky look at outside. Diags get broken, and Elige looks to find a time in. Molly towards elbow is damn good. And the smoke as well with the follow through. It's Torsen who's whiffed it, and there is nothing that can go right for GamerLegion this round.
Rez at least gets 1 back on the trade, but yeah, you're exactly right. ZTR now tries to walk through the smoke, might find the timing on the Rain, hang on, but he's still living. Just like Lee, mate, Carrigan drops ZTR. Now Rez, all left alone in a 1 versus 4, just has to try and get the strike in the smoke, but Frozen will deny, and that is 11 on the trot for FaZe. This is just, oh, I don't even know, obliteration.
Look, both of them had it earlier, and we were kind of expecting it to be closer after what we saw on Mirage. But FaZe are more accurately executing their game plan. And I think it's a good time for a tactical. For Ash to have a chat before things get too spooky. Although I think that time has passed, to be honest.
Yeah.
May as well use the timeouts before the game's over, right?
Yeah. I thought with all this spooking, we'd be closer to Halloween, but yeah, right now, it's been one of those things where Ash has, you know, called the timeouts a little bit earlier, but, you know, they're only into their second now, into round number 16, and they've opted for the Force, which is quite bold, but I guess they've just chosen to throw the kitchen sink at it. You know, they know they're not winning unless they start picking up a couple of rounds now. They do not want to play for overtime.
Nice tight line. That GamerLegion will not test. And Rain, look to trade some map control. Carrigan needs to connect, but he's not going to be able to. And both the A-site members fall, but Elige still playing behind the flames, going to be able to double it back for himself. And now a 2v3. GamerLegion may be on for a 5th.
Surely this is winnable, right? Nah, they've called it. They don't have that much money, I guess. They want to play a little bit safe, not overextend. Happy to let this round slip away out of their grasps. So well done from GamerLegion. It's clearly not done just yet. Timeout working for them. Brokey should still be able to hold on to that AWP for the next round. So A-OK financially, but they can't afford too many of those, FaZe, before they do get a chance at being broken. I think they'll have, what, 2 more lost rounds before they need to start getting concerned.
Ooh, leaked strats. Did you catch that one, Mitch?
Not quite. I have to have this volume low, otherwise I get overwhelmed.
Main still.
Lost. FaZe. Unhappy with that round, it seems. And they don't want to give GamerLegion a taste of success or a shift in that momentum, because the FaZe train has been chugging pretty good so far. Now the money's getting more and more thin after losing just that one round. But GamerLegion, the same can be said. Be back on a mixed bag if this doesn't go right. Early posturing shows that GL are very interested in that ramp area. Brokey, the sole defender. But there's already two towards that lower side, so we'll see if GL are going to be able to get there without copping a bullet through the wall.
We've seen Alistair hit those before, haven't we? Jesus. Now onto the line. Frozen narrowly misses that shot of ZTR. This is where the sweat does start to apply. Rain joining the party. Taken by Sland. My word. What a twist and turn. Frozen now getting into radio. Does get tagged up very heavy. Down to 10 points of HP now. Carrigan looking to find ZTR through the door. But it's a big whiffaroo. Not quite happening right now, but the action is about to occur. Elige up close. Can he find Rez? Or will he be taken, Rez? Heads up, Counter-Strike rips him out of the server. And now it's left onto Frozen and Carrigan. Surely they cannot give up this round. GamerLegion, they've got it locked in. Carrigan does find another in the process. Bomb only now being planted. Carrigan interested, trying to take them off. Needs to reload. Kit is available for both parties here, but I think they're just calling it right now out of the count. Good effort nonetheless.
It's the choice when you have the AKs in hand. Not confident on the retake, with some no health bars. And you look at what they have in the back pocket. Brokey can buy, Frozen can drop, and that's more than enough. If Carrigan can shift the gun across to Rain as well. And that 12th that they're looking for, eluding them for the moment.
Nicely done. 2 on the go since the tactical timeout. Great openers, though. You can see how sharp they are, GamerLegion individually. They can hit their shots, but they have been kept out of this map for pretty much the entirety. Coach Neo getting invested now. Time to bring the boys into line. Look at that money now start to dwindle, Mac. That's what we're talking about, right? You know, potential swing opportunity here now for GamerLegion.
We'll see what they end up going for. I'm keen to see if Slen can start to activate. It feels like there's been many moments where he may have unfortunately not been as effective as GamerLegion were hoping. But now's another shot. And Rez just looking so cool, calm and collected every single time it goes to him, no matter what the situation is. He just seems to be an enjoyer.
He's got some biceps on him too. Quick techie.
I have seen, you checked his Instagram, and every single day he's posting gym pics.
Oh.
So he's in there. Making sure
Beautiful.
he is physically ready to take on Counter-Strike as an esport.
You gotta be. Gym helps the mental. Looks like a quick pace, Mac. Looking to get straight out on towards the side here.
Yeah.
Deny, try break that economy. Here you go. Rez opens up with PR. Frozen does manage to get one back. That nade could be good. It is. Drops down Slend and Torsen to half.
A Taylor's always
I think
time.
they've just had to do it. Yeah, exactly.
Attack pause
Immediately.
into an A-pop, and that's the round, Mitch. They're saving already.
Yeah. Oh, man. As I said, we talked about this yesterday. I appreciate it. I understand.
Mitch, if you don't like a game with economy, go back to your bloody cartoon shooter, all right? Stop it.
No.
Stop saying, oh, it's not entertaining.
It is.
It's not entertaining, Mitch.
I'm just saying MR12 is so punishing that if you take a risk...
Get back on TikTok.
You know? You know, I've never installed TikTok on my phone.
Yeah, but you're on Instagram Reels, and it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. It is ruining my life.
It's bloody addictive, I gotta say. I feel like a worse human for it. And I create content there as well. Sorry, guys. But look, back to the game. Now that the 40-second save is all over.
When do we start panicking for FaZe, Mac? That's my question.
I'd say at the drawn game, when we have to go all the way to regulation. That is imminent. It's about 4 rounds away. That is when the panic should set in. But for now, don't get anxious, Mitch. Okay, let's do breath work. We worked on it yesterday. Let's bring it back, you know. All right.
Okay, I'm ready.
You good?
Yep.
Sweet. All right.
Namaste, brothers. Back into it. Already looking to creep forward. Slow prod outside ramp here. PR still just super aware. Completely different pacing to what we saw in the previous round though now, Mac. Everyone's set up. Topside utility ready to be thrown.
Ooh. They did this last round with the A-pop. This time it's more conditioning, and they are just trying to bait out all of that util that FaZe has brought to the A site. But in the meanwhile, with one of the B defenders falling on ramp, or at least attempting to be falling, Brokey's going to be able to stand and deliver. Rez tucking him away towards that back box, and he's hoping for reinforcements over towards the elbow side. Frozen, the man to try and do it, jumps away, and he'll live. FaZe realize the numbers advantage is too crucial to drop. And speaking of, Carrigan is here and waiting with open arms for GL to drop down ramp.
Not the weapon to do it with though, right? With the MP9, he's going to have to rely on Elige, who is coming down towards Decon now. So he's just going to slot into Dark here, see if they do walk out Mega at the exact same time. Slen straight on towards that line. They are creeping. They are eeping. They're able to find one. Damage dealt though. Carrigan can only find one. No, Elige. Oh, God, not this time. Now Rez up close. He's able to rip open the doors and rip out the head of Elige. Rain does get one back, but Rez finds another. It's all going to be onto Frozen in this moment. But will he be singing a sweet tune? Or will he find Slen? Yes, he absolutely will. Finds the first. Now Rez damaged up here. He's already found 3. It would be a beautiful 4K. And just speaking of Sponge, he wants some utensils. I'll ask for a 4K, and it will be delivered by Rez.
This is that gas that you didn't want in GamerLegion's tank. And they're filling up just before empty. Rez. Lovely sequence of shots there. Just doing it all. That's why he is statistically the highest player in this tournament so far from both these teams in the game. Elige trying to contest that. And he really is with an 18-9 scoreline, but they need to convert this if they want to survive. And it's a faster pop again. Carrigan, this time at the ready, dodging a couple of the flashes, but the trades favor GamerLegion, and the A-site's in their hands.
No way! They've lost it again. Surely another save. They've just had to call it immediately. The amount of pressure that GamerLegion are able to just continue to put down Frozen is in such an awkward position here. Brokey also trying to wrap around. He manages to get towards CT, still yet to head towards that site. Inside lobby now. They've got it cleared. Being able to work it all out. But Mac, you were talking about a closed game where they were all tied up. I'm already starting to panic, already starting to sweat. Frozen now has to exit. Does manage to get back away through ramp, but that is 9 rounds for GamerLegion. All off the back of that singular tactical timeout from Ash. Whatever he said, whispered sweet somethings into their ears, said, boys, I'll buy you a sausage roll if you win this series.
Imagine if that was it. He just called the tackle and was like, boys, we win. Snaggers on the barbie with their boys, eh? And this happened. Just filled up with pure confidence. An Aussie Barbie can instill fear into the toughest opponent.
Brings even enemies together, Mac.
That's true. It is true.
Oh man, you know, Carrigan with that opener, but he was just so alone, right? You know, Elige not playing on the site as he normally would be, over towards the annex side, spam down through the smoke, almost able to find the one, but this is just such a tough round and really, really hard thing to deal with at this point in time. The momentum behind GamerLegion. But what do you do as FaZe? Do you throw something out a bit quicker? Looks like they're going towards ramp very, very fast here again. Okay, Frozen, your time to be tested, my good friend. We need to see you activate now. Straight down Mega, pushing out. And they're happy with that control right now. Brokey mollied off.
Playing his life, understanding his value. Fast flank from the 2-man, and Rain ain't ready for the repeat. Back towards lobby, and towards A they go with both the nameplates falling. That should be on this part of the map. A 3v5, and they took a risk. And the biscuits just crumbled.
Save after save after save, and somehow they still don't have exactly what they need to bring the rounds through. Looks like Elijah's even going to be popped by ZTR. They find him. They will connect.
Okay, Mitch.
And Frozen.
You asked when you were allowed to panic.
Okay.
I said 11-11, and I'm looking at the economy. If FaZe lose next round, actually, nah, fuck it. Panic now, bro.
Yeah. And there is even no disco for us to attend for that panic. Just Brokey smiling in a corner. A little bit uncomfortable with that one. But 5 alive, man. GamerLegion, they are punching down, and they are punching down hard. These are titans of the scene. FaZe Clan, a little bit of criticism obviously coming their way throughout the inconsistent result set of 2025.
Another tactical necessary. Getting everything sorted. It's not often these days that APOPs work so well. And they were able to go back that third time as well. After doubling back from ramp, the info that was relayed, unfortunately, may have been false. But again, ZTR just taking his moment in strides. Round 22, getting real deep in regulation.
Was not expecting this at all, right? You know, it looked to be an absolute whitewash, but FaZe, they've spilt the milk.
Yeah.
And no one's there to clean it up.
And that can sting. So
Really can. Protein left in the car.
make sure you get the cleaning products out. And ready to go. This round, however, Rain going to be the first to get tagged on up with a spam through that door smoke. Gia looking like they are again getting ready to set the util up for an APOP. But will they go with it? Surely not. Surely not another one. They're posturing for it, Mitch. They're going to do it.
I think they are. At least there's a little bit more to defend, though, on the top side here. Rain, Carrigan, where's Elige? He's going to have to be up from the high heavens. How quickly can he get there? Rez is already out. Carrigan, no! Caught lacking, caught slacking. Unk not there on time. Rain, though, still alive, still kicking, but he is taken. And man, oh man, Mac, I am like a broken record, or am I? Elige does get out, but he's going to be taken. They swing for him, and now it has to be on to Frozen. And there's just nothing to take. He has to save. $0 for Carrigan, $4.50 for Rain. Frozen will take the M4 into the next, you'd expect, but this is just bittersweet.
And I love that from GamerLegion as well. Not forcing the plant, not allowing Frozen to be in a position to catch a 1v2 rather than that 1v3 with that player caught off guard. And Frozen will be allowed to at least carry the AWP across to the next. But man, these APOPs, it was a slight variation of it if you notice. The initial wave of util came out, and then they staggered, and then they popped through the smokes. They were like, screw it, let's go. And look, it has to be said, that was so unfortunate for, I guess, both Carrigan and Rez, but more so Carrigan, who just didn't realize Rez was fully sprinting out on site and the first to turn around and check it.
Such good flashes out there from GamerLegion, right? You know, Carrigan had no chance to react at all. And now ZTR, oh man, Frozen, okay. Well, it's 11-11. FaZe Clan needs to start to make a bloody wish. And their wish is to just hold on, Mac, to stay in this competition. Right now, GamerLegion are 2 rounds away from making the arena, joining us at Rod Laver with the best crowd in the world.
I'm sure Roddy would be proud.
Absolutely would, mate.
Especially with a 2-zip. Now, Mitch, you can officially start panicking. Everybody panic. It's fucking happening. GamerLegion are about to 2-0 FaZe.
Literally me 5 rounds ago, Mac. I'm already starting to lose control. But in the best kind of way, my limbs are shaken. But thankfully, my mind is not stirred. What can they do here? How do FaZe adapt? How do they push GamerLegion back? Outside take. No information off the smoke being popped there. Elige So much pressure on him as they creep through. They're going to dive into warehouse here, are they? Or just the secret? Looks like they'll take that drop towards lowers, but Mac, nobody home at all. Just the double up on ramp here. They have to move quickly.
Yeah, in the meanwhile, they've gone for that fake on A to try and slow down the rotations. And in comes this push. Lige makes his way to vent in time, but won't be able to strike fine. It's Brokey looking to control ramp and maybe just go for the save already. Surely not. Surely not. They'll have to. Slend denying the AWP any presence and denying FaZe a bloody gun. 4 looking to survive here for GamerLegion and FaZe looking to be sent straight home.
I literally am stunned. I got nothing to say. This has been textbook Counter-Strike from GamerLegion. I think it's been like 7 out of 8 rounds now where FaZe have been forced to save. They haven't even had a choice, Mac. They've been held in a straitjacket in the fucking panic room. And GamerLegion have taken them to the test. They have put them to the task. And they are at map, series, and qualification point here for IEM Melbourne 2025.
Insanity. Insanity. When did Nuke become so T-sided? And what the hell are we witnessing? That is 8 rounds back-to-back for GamerLegion to put themselves 1 round away and the first team in this game somehow on series point. Incredible scenes. But if you know anything about FaZe, Mitch, the one thing you know about them is you can never, ever count them out. They will not back down without a fight, and even with the worst buy in the world, something subpar, substandard like you're seeing on your screen on the right side, they're still going to give it their Sunday best. And look, we got OT on map number 1, and I think this one may deserve it here on Nuke as well.
We are riding high here, Mac, on Nuke. Overtime was the tune that was sung for the previous map of Mirage. Will we need it again? Or will GamerLegion be able to take themselves to the arena 2-0? That's a huge HE grenade. Maybe an opportunity for FaZe, but a one tap. Elise deleted from the server. And now they start to pick up the pace. Rez has got all of Garage control here. They are just edging their way through. Brokey has to try and join hands with Carrigan. ZTR already up there. PR's found Rain, but Carrigan from the high heavens will drop him down. Now Frozen all alone. A FAMAS hopes and dreams. He will find one. A second, a third. Frozen. He has maybe just brought it back, but ZTR all alone in a 1v3. Overtime absolutely on the cards right now. What a moment. What a time for Frozen to show up to the server.
Let's hold that thought.
Park it.
There is a world. There is a broken window that ZTR can sneak on through. A couple of halls, a couple of stairs. Gets past those quite easily. Just a couple of CTs around this corner, all the way at secret. Watching each other, watching the corner. Brokey only with an MP9 and Frozen, not necessarily known for his proficiency with the AVP. Are we going to overtime? Find out right now. Whoa, we are done. 30 seconds and ZTR, he is thinking about winning this and not allowing FaZe to play no more. That is that. 13-11. No overtime necessary. And GamerLegion knock FaZe out of IEM Melbourne 2025 and book a ticket to the quarters.
Forget Universal Studios. The cinema is being delivered this time by GamerLegion.